voer het gesprek met Daniel, een van de muzikanten hier. Die spreekt Engels en hij spreekt ook Urdu. Oestad Nurbakhsh spreekt eigenlijk zijn eigen taal, Balochi, maar zij spreken Urdu met elkaar. Dus het wordt een ingewikkeld verhaal qua vertaling, maar we komen er vast uit. Daniel, first of all, Nurbakhsh is coming from Balochistan, and just like Kurdistan, it is a difficult place to find on any map. Can you explain a little bit why that is?
I mean, you can find it on the map in both Iran and Pakistan, and Balochistan got split by the modern borders of Iran and Pakistan, and some part of it is in Afghanistan. So it's a land that's split, and of course the story is very complex and tragic. But
yes,
long story short, they didn't really want to be part of Pakistan, but they got conned into being part of Pakistan in 1948, and ever since 1948. There's been a resistance movement there, and during different times, the state has crushed it and done very violent things, and continues to, do lots of errors of injustice and abductions and missing.
You have to take care to speak it to the mic, otherwise people.
So it's a complex story,
but the Balochi people, they have their own language, and they have their own music. And the instrument that Nurbakhsh is playing is a traditional Balochi instrument.
Yeah, of course, Balochistan is a very old and ancient culture for, thousands of years. It's a very settled and old place with lots of historical connections. And they have their own language, their own culture, their own music. And about the second thing that you asked about the instrument, well, the instrument has a very strange and interesting history, because the banjo, it's not related to the American banjo. It sounds like that, but it's not. And this was originally a Japanese invention called the Taisho Koto, and this was invented at some point in the early 20th century. And then these Taisho Kotos, they landed through the seas in different ports, including in South Asia, including Karachi, where I'm from. And the Baloch musicians living in Karachi, they actually modified this instrument and made it into a folk instrument for themselves. And now today, 100 years later, the instrument is completely naturalized. Nobody remembers this history with Japan.
So it used to be a toy for children.
They say it was an experimental instrument. Some people say it was meant to be a toy. Some people say it was just an experiment between having these typewriter keys and strings.
But it was developed further by the musicians of Balochistan.
Yeah, there are, if you see the pictures of the original Taisho Koto, you can see some differences, and then with strings as well. And then, for example, Ustad, he's playing an electric banjo.
Yeah, and how did he make it the electric version himself? Did he started playing an electric banjo?
Ustad, I'll ask him. So
okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. तो पूछा कि आपने पहले सादा बैंजो बजाया, फिर इलेक्ट्रिक बैंजो बजाया, क्या स्टोरी था?
जी, पहले जो मैं सादा बैंजो बजाया, सादा बैंजो के बावजूद इलेक्ट्रिक बैंजो उस्ताद अब्दुर्रहमान ये बना के भेज रहे मेरे लिए। ये बैंजो इलेक्ट्रिक बैंजो तो क्लियर आवाज़ है, उसमें जो मुरली का आवाज़ भी आता है, संदे का आवाज़ भी आता है, जो बेर बैसरी का आवाज़ भी आता है। इसका मुझे बहुत शौक है। इसका ज़बान एक है, एक ही ज़बान से इसका बात जो निकलेगा सच ज़बान की। बाकी मेरा उस्ताद खुदा बख्श साहब।
So he's saying that he used to play acoustic banjo before, but two decades later, 2 decades earlier, he switched to electric banjo, and then he removed one of the middle strings in the electric banjo, because the acoustic usually has 2 strings to play the main melody, like you would in a mandolin, like having a double string. But with the pickup and the amp, he can do it with 1 string. And he says that he likes this electric banjo because you can manipulate the sound to make it sound like other instruments sometimes. There's more room for manipulating the sound because it's amplified, and he likes that.
And how did he develop his virtuoso techniques?
Yeah, he was just telling a little bit about his teachers
I
and how
see.
he.
Okay, yeah.
यह मेरा उस्ताद हदावश था, इसने साज बजाया बलूची स्वर ज़ेमा स्वर संगीती, और जंगल पहाड़ का साज बजाता, सांसुली मधुर मिसाल जैरों जो जैरुक बजा रहे हैं, जो सीवर का साज बजा रहे हैं, कांपी को बुंदर नदी का सऊ धनु लकड़ा का, और सब मुझे बता दे कि ये लकड़ा, ये सऊ है, ये धनु है, ये सीवर है, ये कांकुर है, ये टोपी चगोर है, ये चीज़ सब मुझे बता दे, नहीं बता।
He's saying that he learned from his teacher, Ustad Khuda Baksh, who's not his family, but they share the same last name. His father was also a musician and used to play the saros, but he said that all the different Balochi musical forms, and then he was naming many of the genres and musical forms. He says he learned it from his teacher first, and then of course he experimented with it, played with different musicians, traveled a lot.
So about the name, we're not familiar with the structure because Ustad is not part of the name; it's a title, right? And what does the title imply?
Well, if you translate it literally, Ustad means teacher, but we use this word for maestro musicians, and it's the same in India, Pakistan. Like we have Ustad Zakir Hussain, tabla player, many people will know him. So it's a title given to a musical maestro.
Can you ask Noor a little bit about his musical inspirations? Because he doesn't just play traditional Balochi music, right? Okay.
बलूची का मूसिकी का असर ये था, जिधर हमें गया था मूसिकी मैंने देखा था, जो बादलों में होता था, मेरे उस्ताद का बात है, बादल को तो उधर में शासन का साथ बजा रहा है, और टेम को मैं देखूँ, ये कैसा टेम है, ये बलूची का टेम है, ये राग का टेम है, ये कोयरी का टेम है, ये सिंगड़ा का टेम है, ये पहाड़ी का टेम है, ये कोयरी का टेम है, भोपाली का टेम है, इस तरह मुझे याद है। और राग का टेम है, वो राग को इलेक्ट्रिक में जो उसको शेयर करना फिर मज़ा देता है।
So he's saying that, his two main inspirations are A, nature, and B, the music itself. So according to the different time of the day, he would practice different rags, because all the ragas are set to particular times in the day. And then because there's so many different themes in Balochi music, many of them are connected to sounds of birds. Like we played in the concert today, Topi Chagor, one of the tunes, that's also based on the sounds of a bird. And today we've also played this tune, the first tune we played today, it's called Sachan. And that Sachan means exactly the weather that we had earlier in the day, when the clouds are coming and then the sun comes and the clouds come again. So, these are also his inspirations. And then obviously some famous instrumentalists and singers from Balochistan, which he really liked.
They say that the banjo is often played as a solo instrument. You are both taking care of the accompaniment. But I also read that Noor has been accompanying a singer, a famous singer in his land.
Sadr Sami ka kuch.
सदर सामी की उसे बलूच को गुलू काटता, उसने बजाया ज़ैरों लईको, ये लईको ज़ैरों, ये टीचर की समझो आस के टीचर ज़ैरों लईको अशरफ दर्रा का बशकर दी सदर ने बजा दिया। उससे कैसे मैं सदर का बैंजो वाला होता था, मुझे दाढ़ी भी नहीं था, मूछ भी नहीं था, छोटा बच्चा था, अभी तो बड़ा हो गया। सदर सानी की गाया था सारा बलूचिस्तान में, सारा सरबत में, सारा क्वेटा में, कराची, पाकिस्तान स्टेशन सदर ने गाया था, मैं उसका बैंजो वाला था। ये सारा सदर ने बताया कि ज़ैरुक बलूची का चीज़ है, ये लईको है, यादगारी का चीज़ है।
So, for a long time in Ustad Noor Bakhsh's career, he was the accompanist of a famous Balochi singer called Sapchal Samagi. And I think maybe 20 saal aap uske saath the na? Maybe around 20-30 years he was his main banjo player, even more than that. So he started playing banjo with this singer as an accompanist when he was quite young, maybe 16 or something. And then a good part of his life, that was his main gig, you can say. And then he was playing solo. He's also playing in healing ceremonies, you know. So he's playing in lots of different kinds of contexts. Sometimes he's playing in healing ceremonies solo, sometimes in weddings, sometimes with other singers. So that's also one of the reasons why his repertoire is so wide, because he's crossing many musical and social worlds even within where he lives.
So one final question. Some people's career take a long time in the making. His career is like a skyrocket. I assume that maybe 2 years ago he had no idea he was going to play for us today here. How does he feel about that?
यूरोप में आया है, वाह वाह यूरोप है। मैं धमाका कहता साथ का जो बहुत शौकीन था, यूरोप को मैं मानता हूँ, यूरोप अच्छा बन के आया। तो मैंने देखा थे 2 साल में जा रहे हैं आ रहे हैं, गाने मुझे रह के आए हैं, मैं देखा वाह वाह यूरोप, जर्मनी, आयरलैंड पता नहीं कभी जगह का नाम मुझे याद नहीं होता, जाने का याद होता है। बाकी मैं मानता हूँ वाह वाह, ये पूरे दुनिया का मुल्क के फनकार का कदर है, आर्टिस्ट का कदर है, साज जेमर सुर संगीत का कदर है। बाकी बलूचिस्तान पे भी है, ये बजा दे, मैं नहीं कहते इधर नहीं हुआ वह, मगर इतना शौक है माशाल्लाह, इतना जो पहचाना वाला जो जानकार इधर है, ये हमारा बलूचिस्तान पे नहीं है। क्योंकि मेरे उस्ताद ने बोला था कि वह कि तुम गया था यूरोप में थे, यूरोप कैसा मुल्क था, मैंने बोला पूरा जन्नत था, मेरे लिए पूरा जन्नत था।
I think that was the best question I had.
So he said that, you know, of course he could have never imagined that he would be here, but now that he's been touring Europe for the last 2 years, he absolutely loves it. And then he said that, you know, there's a lot of value given to art and artists here. And he said that, of course, in Balochistan there also love music and there are music lovers, but the way you see mass love for music, organization, shows, and he really enjoys that. And you know, it's like heaven for him to be here, traveling here, and going so many different places.
Ustad Noor Baksh, thank you very much. Give him a big hand.